Bitcoin support Mason from FX Empire, and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance, and pivot levels, and the Fibonacci's. It is Thursday, the 4th of March. Looking at Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlesticks, positive start to the day after an early pullback. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fallback through the pivot at 54.16 to take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 52.649. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break back through to 52,000 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 52.567 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin eye resistance at 55,000 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 54,900. Fallback through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 48,175 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of the second major support level at 45,943 and the 23.6% fib at 45,501. Looking at the MACD, we've got a widening of the bearish histogram this morning after yesterday's late bearish cross. That's suggestive of some downside ahead. On the EMAs, however, we're seeing a bullish cross forming there with the 100 breaking through the 200 and the 50 EMA holding its ground against the 100 and the 200, signaling further upside through the morning. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through the pivot at 54.16 and break back through to 52,000 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Moving across to Ethereum against US dollar, bullish start to the day. Going to need to Ethereum avoid a fallback through the 23.6% fib at 1579 and the pivot at 1568 to support a continued run at the first major resistance level at 1658. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from yesterday's high. It was at 1657.91. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 1700 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ethereum test resistance at 1800 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1749. A fallback through the 23.6% fib and the pivot at 1568 would bring the first major support level at 1477 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should still well clear of sub 1400s. Second major support level sits at 1386. Looking at the MACD, you've got a slight narrowing of the bearish histograms after yesterday's late bearish cross, supporting early upside. On the EMA, we're seeing the 50 pull away from the 100 and close in on the 200, which is a bullish signal. So look out for a possible bullish cross of the 50 through the 200. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the 23.6% fib and pivot and break back through to 1600 levels to then bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, bullish start. Going to need to see Litecoin break through the 23.6% fib at 195 to bring the first major resistance level at 197 into play. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 187, however, to support a continued run through to 195 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 200 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Litecoin test resistance at 210 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 207. A fallback through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 178 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should stay clear of sub 170s. We've got the second major support level at 168 and the 38.2% fib at 163. Looking at the MACD, we have a slight narrowing of the bearish histograms after yesterday's bearish cross, supporting early upside. More significantly, however, the 50 is pulling away from the 100 and the 200, with the 100 narrowing on the 200, giving a bullish signal. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through the pivot at 187 and break through the 23.6% fib at 195 to give a run at 200 levels. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, it's a mixed start to the day. You're going to see Ripple's XRP move through the pivot at 0.4499 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 0.4683 Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break out from the 38.2% fib at 0.4632. Barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 0.46884 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Ripple's XRP target 0.50 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.4872. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 0.4310 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid the second major support level at 0.4126. Looking at the MACD, we have a slight narrowing of the bearish histogram after yesterday's bearish cross, supporting the early upside. On the EMAs, the 50s pulling away from the 100 and narrowing marginally on the 200, suggestive of some further upside through the morning. So keep through the early part of the day, move through the pivot at 0.4499 and break through the 38.2% fib at 0.4632 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, the support levels will be in play.